Almost forgot the music.
I was like, why is there no music? Oh, I didn't hit that button. It's been a while.
Forgot how to. He forgot how to drive stick shift on the podcaster.
And then the very first stop is on a hill.
Yeah, yep. With like all the cars behind you.
The audience is beeping at us. Come on, let's go. All right, well, we're back. Welcome to the worst show on the internet to cap off your week. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, basically. Welcome to the weekend. Well, actually,
no, you can't say that anymore because you know.
Idol,
like royalties and stuff.
No, what was it called?
The Idol.
The Idol, that was the show. That awkward, that really
Welcome to the weekend.
Dude.
It's just like Weekend Eve now?
That show is like, every time I find out more about it, I wish I didn't. Like every time I see like clips and like
Look, I didn't watch any of it only because one of my friends, like I said, works in the movie industry and was on that production. And was like, dude, this is weird AF.
Everyone here is weird.
Yes. And apparently, like, he's the kind of guy that will come in and be like, because even though, well, there's another director that's also weird helping run that, which makes sense. But I guess this director will come in and just be like, throw everything we were planning on doing today out the window. We're going to do this instead. And of course, all the grips and all of the production is like, what the hell? Because everything's choreographed for what was on the schedule.
Like,
right?
we can do that.
Yes.
But
that's the only way we do it.
Yeah, because there's literally 3 people on this entire set. Dude, like a whole regular set of people. Oh my God.
Anyway, welcome to the RTFM show. It stands for Read the Freaking Manual. Past that, we have an okay show for you guys today. We were out last week, as you guys may have noticed, which is kind of not that out of the norm for us. Okay, so first of all, everyone got an unscheduled paid week off that does not go towards your vacation time. You know how many people were triggered? Like, oh, he gave him a week off like he wants a damn trophy. It's like, no, this was completely separate from any of your benefits you already get. Like, people were like, oh, they only get a week off. I'm like, how do you know what their benefits are? First of all, shut up. Second of all, what'd you do on your vacation?
I got basically everything that I wanted to do as far as like a mental reset, like deep clean the apartment and like freaking, just get everything kind of like lined up and stuff.
I feel like deep cleaning is a good start to like just getting all your junk out, like not just physically but mentally.
Yeah, because leading into it, like I was feeling a little stressed and like just struggling mentally a little bit so like I just took that week and it was just nice to just have no obligations for a week and just be like, cool, I can like do all this stuff at my own pace, like, you know what I mean, just throw headphones on and just not care about time and stuff. And that was honestly my favorite part.
If anyone's ever watched the comedian Ron White and he has that bit where he's talking about laying in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos, like I imagine that was you.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, if I wasn't,
because you have my old love sack.
Yep.
So it's like, I imagine you laying that thing naked, just
See, maybe that's why Jay doesn't care about handheld gaming, because he doesn't have his beanbag anymore.
I still have one. I had two.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, and also because Jay's farsighted. Oh, actually, that might be it. Because
I'm all playing like this.
Yeah, because if you're playing normally, right, you would be struggling. You have to like focus your eyes like that the whole time.
Yeah. Well, my glasses really help with that. I just haven't been wearing them lately because I scratched one right in the very center of my optic area, so I've got to get them the lens replaced. But
that's unfortunate.
It's not even a scratch; it's a chip. Like I don't know how it happened.
You haven't even had glasses for like a year yet.
Maybe it's honestly you, because you could get chips on your windshields, and now you're getting it on your glasses.
Yeah,
you put glass in front of me, it's gonna get screwed up. Okay.
Yeah, that's the curse.
Doesn't matter if it's polycarbonate or tempered glass, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the whole windshield fiasco with the art.
Every car.
You had to literally like fight everyone.
Every car I had for a little while there had a rock chip in it, like a big crater chip. Every car I had was like, what the hell?
Well, it's better than my luck with my current car, where like other cars keep installing themselves into it.
Or attempt to update.
Yeah.
Like when I was walking up to the office today, I saw your little sideswipe damage. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he got sideswiped out of nowhere.
So dumb, yeah. They're like, you want to repair? I was like, no, not the money, bro.
Yes, take the check.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like. Why do I care about this car?
Yeah, it's
somebody else is gonna hit it in the Walmart parking lot anyway.
It's literally a daily beater.
Wait, so I got it. I got it, and it already had that one slight dent on the front fender,
and it looked like a pretty newish car otherwise.
Yeah. It was definitely because I remember when I bought it, like I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect, because it was like an older Asian couple and they had bought that car for their kid, and then like after the kid went to college, they didn't have a use for the car anymore, and so that's why, and so that's where that dent came from. I think it was like one of those like backing out of a parking spot in a parking lot and then hitting the like a
pole.
light pole or something
Yeah.
because it was like totally on the front like quarter panel.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, that was the only thing. And then since I got it, it's been hit 3 times. 2 of them I wasn't there.
Yeah, you just came out like from the
No,
parking
one of
lot.
them, and that wasn't even that like long after we moved here.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? And then so yeah, I got a hit and run here at work, and then 2 times. One of them, Mark was with me. We were at Walmart, and then like this chick, you know, they're like angled.
You said,
parking
yeah,
lots.
you sent me the dash cam footage. You
Yeah.
just hear like, you guys are like, what do you do there? I don't know. Like, oh,
Yeah, Mark goes, oh, and I was just like, I'm just like, really? Like that? You hear me just go?
because wasn't it a person? Yeah, a person backed out like too far or something.
Yeah, I was already in the lane, like backing out, and then they just backed out without looking behind them, and then backed into my car. And then the most recent one was like a few weeks ago when that lady decided to just change lanes. And the funny thing is, we were the only cars on the road for like a whole city block.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm just sitting next to her.
It was Friday too. You were like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a great weekend. And she made a sudden lane change into you.
Yeah, and then she was all apologetic. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And the whole time I was just like, yeah, there's the info, whatever, cool, thanks, bye. She kept trying to apologize and stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, it's fine. Like, I
Like she got scared by a big rig that wasn't even in her lane.
Yeah, it was going into the middle, like the
turn
shared
lane.
lane. Yeah,
Yeah.
the shared turn lane.
That's where big rigs tend to go, especially like when they're trying to stay. Like if they're, I see big rigs all the time. They'll pull out of like whatever warehouse, whatever they're in,
Yeah.
because they've left the dock. But then they'll pull into that suicide lane, as I guess it's been appropriately named in this instance,
Yeah.
or the center lane, and then
Yeah.
they'll park there for a minute and then
Yeah.
kind of do their paperwork, and then off they go. But I guess he pulled out into there a little too quickly and
It
scared
wasn't
the
even
crap
like
out
a
of her.
full size semi truck. It was just a tow truck or one of those car carrier trucks.
Oh, like a car dealer. Okay.
Yeah. So and then anyway, like it was very clearly obviously going into the middle lane because like they never pull out into the main lane because
Yeah.
it's impossible for a truck like that to speed up fast enough
Yeah.
to merge. But yeah, and then she just freaked out and decided to lane change into me.
So what did you do on your vacation?
Half of it was partying for my birthday.
Nice.
Would you? Okay, let's start there. I think the audience would love to know how a Nick party goes down.
That was I just realized, that vacation was perfect timing for Nick's birthday.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it was also Brian's birthday and my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that week. So,
So, was it?
well, actually, my
Friday?
birthday was a little before that.
That means your guys' parents did it like around the same time.
I don't want to think about that.
that was a busy week.
No, I remember the moment I realized that because we were all talking about birthdays and then we were like, why are there so many birthdays in the summer?
Oh,
It's 9 months before. It's all that Christmas sex. Everyone gets horny over the holidays. I
you know
guess.
what would make a perfect Christmas present? It's free. No, it's not. That shit's gonna cost you for 18 years.
Yep.
At least.
That's probably the most expensive gift.
So a Nick party. How's that go?
I didn't decide what I wanted to do until like probably the second day before. So then I went shopping. I did all the cooking. I just invited a couple friends over for barbecue.
Nice.
TFTI.
You were on, you know what?
Yeah, you were in spam land.
Yeah, you're in
I was in the land of spam
hobbies.
Spam
Masubi.
Musubi and Loco Moco land.
Yeah.
I got something really funny to say about being in Hawaii, by the way. But go.
Oh, I'm
But
excited.
yeah, so I invited everybody and I said BYOB because I intend to actually get wasted that day.
Oh.
So
Nice.
I got to do that because I'm usually driving out.
It has been a long time since I've seen you drunk. Maybe since you almost hit the ceiling with the bowling ball at the bowling alley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too bad this isn't a video edit because I would totally throw that clip in. Dude, it was so loud.
I love how the worker was like,
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to throw it farther.
I'll aim for the TV next time. But where were we?
Your week
party.
off and your birthday week.
Okay, so yeah, I did that. Worked on the car. I have both cars running now.
I noticed you got the silver bullet
Yeah, I
here
saw
today.
that.
Yeah,
I just nicknamed it the silver bullet now.
it's not really that fast, but thank you.
It's a silver air gun bullet.
It's a silver airsoft
It's a
bullet.
pellet. It's a pellet.
It sounds like a Wookiee, but okay. So yeah, did that. Cleaned up my room a little bit.
Did that too.
Thanks.
Did a lot of that.
Well, it still does that. And then Impulse bought a lot of stuff online.
Ooh, like what?
Well, I have another keyboard that came.
Oh no. I regret asking.
Yeah.
Wait, I like how you're right. Both of us just impulse bought stuff at the
So I got
towards the end of
that.
the
I
meeting.
got a new wallet, and then I picked up like that titanium frame knife was another impulse buy, and I stocked up on some Steam games.
Oh yeah, I forgot I bought the ROG Ally during break. But the thing is,
It didn't come till after.
well, no, it came in, and then the first unit I got was like blue screening out of the box.
The defective one, yeah.
Yeah, and then the replacement got like sort of slightly backward.
Asus quality right
Yep.
there, I tell you what.
I texted it because they had like 3 mandatory BIOS updates, and I texted the crew like as soon as I was doing it, I was like, guys, cross your fingers, hope my house doesn't burn down.
I like how you're asking if it was necessary to have a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I know.
Just like immediately, dude. After owning a Volkswagen, you still don't have one.
I know that it's a 45 watt part, but still, you can still start a fire with 45 watts.
Don't they have a 65 watt charger for it too?
Yeah, it's a 65 watt. Yeah, because you have to be able to give it full power while charging the battery.
Oh my god!
You gotta have more power than the
Did you get one yet, or it comes with it, right? Or is it an optional?
the what?
The 65 watt charger?
Yeah, it comes with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then my battery bank is 100 watts, so that'll run it.
What if we hook up like a 100 watt charger to it? Or an 80 watt
I
charger?
remember you like getting so annoyed at that question when you were looking through your email.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So PSA, guys, the device pulls the current it needs. It's not the other way around. The charger doesn't just shove max voltage and power into whatever you plug it into.
Too bad it didn't work like that though.
I know it'd be more fun and that question wouldn't be asked as often because people would learn really quickly after the first time.
You gotta make sure you have a lipo bag before attempting.
Go to Charge Your Phone account.
In chat, Lurk Skywalker says, but it's not like we all speak English. All right, we should just language change the show right now. What do you want to change to?
Ewan ko, Tagalog.
I don't speak Tagalog. Okay, you speak Tagalog.
Yeah.
You speak... Do you speak Hindu?
He doesn't speak. He's quiet. That's why
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't hear him.
quiet. That's my secret.
Nick just doesn't speak.
Okay, you speak ESP, and I'll speak bad German, okay? There we
Nick
go.
speaks internal thoughts. that's
Imagine going into an English show and be like, but we don't speak English.
Josh, imagine people being able to read my internal monologue.
No. We got a glimpse of it when the mic was on and you were outside.
Just
I want pizza.
pizza.
Doom, 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 as he's walking.
Oh, yeah, I already showed you guys, but I want to tell everyone in chat, all 1.5K of you, those finger chopsticks for eating chips and stuff while gaming. Oh my god, best purchase ever. That was the best $15 I ever spent.
So for my vacation, we went to Oahu. Took the family. We all went to Hawaii for the first time. I've never been. Family's never been. And now, you guys, if you guys have watched my Twitch stream, you know that I have like a regular crew that we like 4-man game with, right? Usually we are playing scary games or co-op games, and we're terrible gamers, and a lot of shenanigans ensue, and it's funny. One of the people in our crew, we call him IKEA. It's actually, his name is actually spelled Ikaika, but nobody could say it, so everyone says IKEA. And he's from Hawaii, and he actually lives on the island we went and visited. And I told him, if you guys know, he's extremely triggered by 3 things: pineapple on pizza, triangle cut spam, I don't know why the shape matters, and people who say ahi tuna, because that's like saying tuna as far as he's concerned. Now, having never been to Hawaii, I noticed by about day 3, every time I walk in somewhere, a Starbucks, a gas station, a convenience store, the hotel, there'd be, aloha, hello, aloha, hello, aloha, hello. I'm like, wait, isn't that like saying hello, hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello? I said, so ahi tuna? You deserve ahi tuna, is what I told him. And he got so triggered. I said, you deserve ahi tuna.
You get to keep your ahi tuna.
If you're going to say aloha, hello,
Yeah.
ahi tuna is the same thing.
What is with
It's a Hawaiian word followed by the English word.
what's with tuna being redundant? Because like even in English, it's tuna fish, which is kind of redundant.
Yeah,
still,
it's like,
right?
wait, how can we make it even stupider?
Ahi
Tuna fish. No, I want the tuna chicken. Tuna chicken today.
Chicken of the sea.
Yeah.
Tuna.
But yeah,
Bats are chicken of the cave.
but then I got to the
No
but then I
one
got to the
calls it
point
that.
but then I got to the point to where I was actually getting irritated every time someone said aloha, hello.
just because of the redundancy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an automatic greeting. So
Yeah.
it's like the aloha is mandatory, and then the hello is like, oh, maybe they don't know what aloha means. I don't know. And then of course mahalo is like thank you, etc., goodbye, whatever.
Although I feel like if you're going to Hawaii and
you walk in a room, aloha, hello, mahalo, goodbye. As you leave.
Wait, aloha is goodbye and hello. Mahalo is just thank you.
I know, but I'm telling you the manner at which people were saying it.
so you can say
it's
mahalo,
like-
thank you,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank mahalo you.
Thank mahalo you.
R.I.P. in peace. Automated ATM machine.
Rest in peace.
Aloha, hello.
No, it's like when we say. It's like
Mahalo,
when we
thank
say.
you.
Liquid crystal LCD display.
It's like when we say AIC cards. It's like add-in cards. Anyway,
It's interesting how it changed into a C because it used to be a B, and then everyone
I
decided
know
to
it's
start
add-in
calling
board, add-in card. What's funny
It's
is
all
like
the same thing. Yeah, it's
it
all
depends on
referring
who
to-
you're talking to. It's like Nvidia's TI and TI.
Oh yeah, and I love how like the official lore for that is it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
because they have people in the company that say it differently.
Is it 5G or 5G?
5G. I'm pretty
Right?
sure.
Remember
that
the
one-
5G keynote?
Oh my god, that Verizon guy.
So anyway, for those who may be wondering, yes, when I was in Oahu, I did go to Pearl Harbor. It was pretty sick. I do not fit in the Bofin very well, which is the World War II submarine.
He showed us all the pictures.
I also fit in the midget. I fit in the midget sub even less. Or mini sub, excuse me. I think they've politically correct changed the name since the sub was made. It was originally called a midget sub, but then apparently that's bad. So now it's mini sub. But anyway,
I ate a mini sub today.
the Bofors gun's pretty sick. It's my first time seeing actual quad turret Bofors gun in person.
I thought you said quad turbo guns. I
Quad
was
turret, yeah, Bofors gun,
That's
which is the
sick.
anti-air gun. It was pretty awesome.
That's the one that inspired the Millennium Falcon gun, right? Like the turret scene and everything.
Oh, that's a quad. Like,
Yeah.
well, it is a quad, but it's like a stacked quad,
Yeah.
whereas the Bofors are side by side,
Oh,
double
that makes
barrels.
sense.
Double.
On the top of the Bofin, sitting in the 5-inch manual crate turret on top. I do not fit in that seat. As you saw, my legs were all hanging out of it. I'm like, the Navy was not built for a guy that is 260 some odd pounds and 6'4". That is not. Yeah, the Navy was not meant for me.
Did you post those pictures? Like
On social? No.
Oh,
I don't share my personal life on social anymore.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's nice, huh?
It is nice. It is nice to have a level of privacy now, because I mean, yeah, it is what it is. We won't
Nothing
get
like a giant.
we won't get
midget
into
sub.
we won't get into that discussion. But I'll tell you, having gone on the Missouri after going on the Bofin and the mini sub, the Missouri felt like a freaking Disney cruise ship.
I gotta address Lowe's Earth's nothing like a giant in a midget sub, dude. I should go inside like the.
It would just be a sub for you.
Yeah, I should just do the Typhoon class sub, and then I could be a midget in a giant sub.
There's so much room for activity.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what you guys are
You're
talking about.
doing
It's not
jumping.
cramped.
You're doing jumping jacks. So anyway, so the Missouri, which is an Iowa class battleship, obviously is one of 4 ships that existed in the Iowa class. So there was the Iowa, the New Jersey, the Missouri, and the Wisconsin. But I've been on the Iowa many times because it's local to us. It's moored here in Los Angeles as a World War II museum. Dude, the Missouri is so much nicer. Like, clearly it got better funding because it's in Pearl Harbor, right? The teak deck is all new and pretty. I mean, there's some spots of the ship that it needs some repair. It's a little rusty and stuff. But inside, like, so we walked around the deck the first time. Like, when we first got there, we were playing around with the big turrets and taking pictures under the giant, guns and whatnot, the Mark 16s. And it's just like, as we were getting ready to go into the rear, so there's two or three ways you can enter the ship, right? There's a bunch of like hatches and stuff you can go down into the ship. It's self-guided tour, and we decided to go in the stern or the fantail area. And I was telling Brian as we were getting ready to go down, because it was a humid, rainy, 80-degree day in Hawaii. And I was like, man, it's going to be so gross and musty down there. And we're going down the stairs, and as soon as I stepped down, I was like, woof, cold air. I'm like, what the hell? There's air conditioning in the Missouri. Like it was cold too. I'm like, because we came down into one of the the giant mess hall areas. I was like, why doesn't the Iowa have air conditioning? What is this crap?
Dude,
right?
and then when we went, it was like summer too. It was super hot in there.
So anyway, it was like really nice, like super nice. But anyway, like having been in the Iowa a bunch of times, you guys have seen me like trying to move around the Iowa and duck and all that, dude. When you have it side by side perspective with a submarine and then a battleship, you realize that battleship, I could have done life on the battleship.
So
I would have needed a custom rack, honestly, because I wouldn't have fit very
Sleep
well.
standing up the whole time.
like a freaking steel Iron Maiden. I have to sleep in an Iron Maiden.
No, I'm just imagining like me and Nick like just ratchet strapping you to a bulkhead so you stay upright.
No, it's we'll like to
The officers come down.
pipes.
They're like, "What are you guys doing? Don't worry about it."
Just strap them up to the pipe, so it looks like the land game.
Yeah, like the old school Counter-Strike game where the guy strapped to the ceiling.
But he wasn't strapped; he was duct taped.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that was my week. We chilled, relaxed, swim for walks on the beach, and I swam around like a buoy. I swam out to the ocean and back.
He swam around like our buoy's not supposed to move.
They have some movement. They're chained down. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, just imagine imagine a buoy like sprouting little arms.
I floated around like a buoy. It was nice. You know, I lazied the shit out of the lazy river.
That clip that you
I
showed
also
us of all the,
yeah
all the death.
yes. I also went down the tube slide that they have in this like volcano thing, and because we were staying at Alani in Disney. Okay. It's not a very big slide, but you know it's gravity driven. So
It's gravity driven.
I learned that when I was on the 2-person tube, like with my daughter in front of me or whatever. My daughter's light; she's little compared to me, right? My youngest. And we were going down. That's fun, and we hit the end, and it's like, psh, yay! And then it spits you out into the lazy river. So you're just like in traffic, and off you go, right? When I'm just by myself on the donut, dude, I get so much more speed. I was cool runningsing the crap out of that,
dang.
right? And then when it came down to the end, I was like slightly sideways, and the tube hit, and I freaking barrel rolled the crap out of that. And Brian just happened to be at the end, and all he saw was me coming down and a big smile, and then a splash, and limbs were like.
Did they have a speed trap at the bottom of that?
No, here's the worst part. I fell off my tube, and someone waiting was like, yoink, and took my tube.
So you couldn't even
So now I'm in the lazy river, like walking. So it was
How am I
like,
supposed to be lazy when I have to walk? What the heck?
It became an active river after
am I the only one that finds it weird to see
God.
people walking in a lazy river? Because it's only 3 feet deep.
I also love how everyone's like, wait, what do you mean you swam to the ocean? Where did you start swimming then?
They have no, it's a lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
It's
you're right.
like a lagoon. So I went out
Dang
as
it,
far.
that makes sense.
So I went as far out as it would let you go. Like it has like
He swam from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific. Dang, that's far, dude.
Yeah. I have lungs of steel. No, so anyway, it's all the beaches like for the resorts have like cut in like man-made lagoons that the ocean water comes in, and then they have like this like kind of a man-made rock barrier. Nice. That water still comes in because they have like catamarans and stuff that'll go out for like the whole like canoe experience for Hawaii, like Hawaii, I'll be on a canoe, yada yada.
Yeah.
So you can swim right up to it, and then they have like the barrier, so you can't swim past it. And I got up to that. And the problem is the closer you get to it, the more you feel the current like, oh, hey, we want to go this way. And I also learned something. When the water's nice and warm in the lagoon, but when you're swimming that way and you get a nice little Pacific Ocean current that goes right through your pants, that sucks.
It's crazy
It's
how
cold.
It's crazy how like sharp of a gradient it is too, right? Like it's weird to think of water like that, but yeah.
It's like do warm. Woo!
Yeah.
It's an innie now.
It's a mini. No one look.
It was cold, okay?
It's cold. Meanwhile, they're on the hot tub. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. The water's warm over here.
But because that lagoon water is constantly working its way back out, if you had a time lapse, you'd see me like going against it. You would see me like doing side stroke and butterfly stroke, and then flip on my back and doing backstroke because I kept getting tired, so I kept flipping positions. But I made it back, and I was like, ugh. And then I almost got run over by a knee boarder because they were coming back in, but they were new, so they couldn't steer.
What did they do? Just yell?
Yeah, they were like, look out! And I was like,
That's funny.
yeah, that'd be me. Go to Hawaii and get run over by a surfboard.
Dude, last time I was there, I saw like somebody doing. It was like the thing with the parachute and the board.
Oh, yeah, parasailing.
Yeah, and they were doing like crazy freaking flips and tricks.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
parasailing,
Yeah.
but the knee board's strapped to their knees, right?
Yeah.
So they can use it to get air, but they're tied to the boat, right?
Yeah, I just remember tripping out because I was just chilling on the beach and suddenly I was like, hey, that guy's parasailing. Oh, what the heck? He's freaking freestyling, bro. Yeah, the dude was just, it was crazy.
Yeah. I actually ran into quite a few followers at that resort. I wonder if any of them are in the chat right now. But yeah, it was.
I ran into one at the Lahui Costco.
Oh, when you were out there?
Yeah, it was funny. My uncle was like, what the heck? I didn't know my nephew's famous. I'm like, I'm not famous, shut up. But yeah, I did not expect that to be out there.
Yeah, Hawaii was cool. I mean,
That's dope.
the first couple of days, like when I'm in a new place, like, look, I very rarely have ever traveled anywhere to be like, I want to enjoy the scenery, right? It takes me a couple days to really sort of appreciate it. And so the first couple of days, I was like, this is cool.
Because you're like also mentally unpacking too.
The
You have to,
water's
like,
really
get
the
settled,
water's like really turquoise. And the volcanoes are really cool looking and green. And you know what? The birds and the poofy clouds. And I'm like, this is cool. And after like day 3, I was literally sitting there in the lounge room with my drink, and I was like,
Yeah, you've been assimilated. Yeah.
no, I was sitting there like this. I'm just sitting there like, I look at my wife and I go, we can move here.
Yeah. Literally the exact steps my.
But let
my
me
aunt
tell
and
you,
uncle did.
what cured the thought of going, I could move here. We had a rental car. and we went, let's go for a drive around the island. The distance between Brian's house and here, like both ways, is less than it took us to go around the island. Yeah. I was like, oh, this would start to feel really small really quickly.
Even at like the 30 miles an hour average that everyone drives over there because it's so slow.
But then I read Hawaii has no emissions laws for cars. And I was like, huh. And then I was like, but wait, there's nowhere to take my car.
But you can register it there. EPA.
But I'd have to take it back there every year for a safety inspection.
Oh, yeah, bummer. You get to have a vacation every year?
We'll just group by the ferry every year.
That ain't a ferry, dude. That's a cargo ship.
We have three cars registered to Jay's like island house. It's like, wait, what?
I'm not sure I could afford to live there. Dude. If you want to know the truth, like some of those houses there are nuts.
Just in general, that was what blew my mind last time I was there, because the first time I was there, I was a kid, so you don't care about money and prices and stuff. But like, I was like, wait, why is this bag of Cheetos like $5? And it's like, it's an island. Everything has to fly or ship over here. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Dang, that sucks.
And there's a lot of things that like you don't get no Amazon next day. You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, we were having a lot of trouble trying to source.
It's like living in Alaska.
We were trying to source a drone battery for my uncle's DJI, and dude, it was like impossible. And I was like, because you can't airship a battery.
It has to come on a boat. So that's going to
take. You have to basically wait until local shops restock them.
And that's going to take a month. It's the only domestic flight I've ever taken where I had to fill out a declarations form.
Yeah.
Because it's very much so, and I told this to IKEA. I said, you know what, Hawaii is pretty sick because I have traveled all over the United States, and it is the only place that feels like it has culture. It's like an embedded. This is the local culture. Bam, we stick to our culture, and it was very refreshing to see like, oh, this is awesome. You know, like the level of immersion in a completely I felt like I went international, to be honest.
Yeah. That's what, I like that vibe of it too. It's just, it's like they're part of the cool states club, but also like they get to still be themselves. Yeah. Instead of like, kind of having to conform, which a lot of states kind of did.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of them in the middle of America because there's nothing there but corn anyway.
Because I was at a Disney resort, it's kind of like the first time I went on a Disney cruise with the family. I was like, oh, this is going to be a week from hell. It was actually like, this is pretty cool because like the luau's can be I think luau's can have the potential to be really cheesy, but this one I was like, okay. I watched a video online of like teasers of it, and I was like, okay, there's a Goofy and Mickey, and oh come on, I don't want to see Hawaii Mickey. Yeah, I want to see Hawaii. Oh, excuse me, Hawaii. I want to see Hawaii, but like Disney was a part of it for like maybe 2 minutes of the 2-hour experience.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was all 100% local. Performers and stuff.
The real people were doing it.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
That's dope.
But anyway, I think.
Oh, did it take a while for you to get used to when you came back and like the general speed of life as soon as?
Getting off the airplane, I was like, okay, I'll go faster then. I had to like fight for my bags. I had to fight for my bags at the freaking. Dude, the very first shaka we got was when we were going to the rental car and I turned the wrong way.
Oh God! Like, wait, there or here?
No, I was like walking from the shuttle, I got my slip, and they were like, it's in slot 30 or slot 39 or whatever. I'm like, and I turned right, and I'm like, wait. Numbers are getting smaller. Oh, I should have gone that way. And Jennifer's like, I told you it's this way. And then the typical like husband and wife bickering while traveling thing. And then the worker was like, he walks up, he was like, it was a white dude too. Yeah. He walks up and he was like, hey, what are you looking for? I was like, slot 39. I think it's that way. He's like, yeah, it's that way, man. No big deal. And he just shakas and walks away. I'm like, I like the laid back, like, hey, it's cool, man. It's cool.
It is physically impossible unless you try really, really hard, and you have to like constantly stress yourself out. Yeah. Like it's impossible to be stressed over there.
What I love is like, look, there's a stigma that goes along with a lot of Disney folks, and a lot of them can be Karens.
Oh yeah.
And just waiting in line at like the customer service to like check in and stuff, you encounter a couple of Karens, and it was so different. Like other hotels, you'll see like, well, ma'am, this is blah, 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 blah. And they'll like Karen back, right? Yeah. But they were just like, no big deal. Yeah, it's fine. You got to fix anything else? It's like, okay, have a nice day. And it's like, it really throws the Karen off, by the way.
Yeah. When you're friendly to them, because they want to fight. And then when you don't fight them, then
I'd never seen such a chill society, and I loved it. Yeah, I didn't fit in very well for the first little bit, but
yeah. Dude, once I got used to driving over there, like I was telling Jay, like my getting back here and having to reacclimatize.
Yeah, because back then you can do 50 miles an hour on the freeway, and you're like,
You're
no one's
passing
trying to
people.
murder me.
Yeah, you're passing people over there at 50.
Yeah.
And then you get back here, and then I flew back into LAX, and then I had to drive because my car was parked there.
Yeah.
So imagine going from freaking Hawaii
Yeah.
directly into the gauntlet of death race. Dude, I was like, yeah,
Polar
I am
opposite.
gonna
So
die.
when we came back, like our luggage, we're standing there, we're waiting at the carousel, and and everyone's standing there waiting, and we're like, where the hell are the bags? And it's like 20 minutes. We're like, what the heck? And then they had made an announcement that they hey, it's going to be on this carousel instead. And people were like, oh, and they're all walking over all mad, and we're just like, dude, it's cool, it's all good. Like
It's all good, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Just full on chocolate everywhere now.
And then when it was time to leave, there was like a traffic jam at the parking stall where you had to pay for your parking, and people were like honking and backing up and trying to go in other lanes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm home. LA life, I'm home. Anyway, 30 minutes of bull crap at the start of this show.
It was better than my topic anyway.
Hey,
That
it's
works.
an hour and a half of bull crap in this show, okay?
Every week. Except for when we don't.
Yeah, except for we're not here.
Sometimes we
Did you
don't.
say except for when we don't?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like.
60% of the time, it's every time.
Exactly. Just like Sex Panther.
Oh, yeah, the 80% of the time it works every time. I was like, who's Panther?
Wasn't the movie Black Panther, dude? Did you get it
I
wrong?
love the fact that your topic was something about ADHD hyperfixation,
And
which
then-
ADHD led to your topic being completely. Well, it was your topic technically.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, go for it. Like, what do you mean by that? Your topics are always vague. Something, whatever here.
I know, because that's the most I can think of because I suck at thinking of topics.
Because we know the show is going to flow.
Yeah, I think yeah, because we're friends. If we weren't friends, then it'd be weird. Because then you'd have to. Well, first of all, it'd be weird because you have a podcast with no friends, and secondly,
Isn't that? I thought that was called the WAN show. No, I'm just kidding.
list of burn centers in the Canada.
No, in Northern America. North America.
So Phil said the average speed on H2 in Oahu is 65 miles an hour. The average day, dude, down here it's probably
62 miles an hour would get you road rage murdered.
yeah, because that's what I do I do 65 to 70 on the freeway in the right lane and like trying to not get murdered by a truck.
I had to go to the chiropractor today, and I was doing 82, and I was not going fast enough for anyone near me.
Yeah, everyone's
I
passing.
caught myself going too fast. I haven't driven that car for a while.
Well, you have like 3 times the horsepower.
Yeah. But like, because like the Fit, I've been learning like momentum drive. So I've been doing that, but I've been adding power to coming out of turns like, oh, there's a lot more behind it.
I forgot what happens when I actually have more than
No, it's because we watched that military how to protect your general video.
No, he knows how to defensively drive it.
Yes. What was the name of that turn? Oh, I forgot the name of that turn. And don't say J turn. That's a backwards turn.
A well-executed handbrake turn.
I
but-
forgot what it was called. Yeah, no, they had a word for it, but
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called.
Uh-oh. I don't like the looks of this, Sergeant.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Just duck.
We watched
Yeah, I spotted them too.
I spotted them too. They both ducked.
If you guys are wondering what we're talking about, we ended up in the Beyond section of YouTube where somehow I ended up on some like
favorite
1982 military training video for transporting a general and how to survive a terrorist attack. But the terrorist attack were white people with mullets with Mac 10s.
Yeah. And like bright red pickup trucks.
Bright red pickup trucks. And all they had to do was duck, and they were like, dang it.
I know.
It's like Dora the Explorer, but
like-
like real life.
But he goes on a bridge, and the truck pulls out, and they're like, with the Mac 10. Like, come get it. And the sergeant it was a staff sergeant driver. He was like, I don't like the looks of this, sir. And the general was like, me neither, sergeant. And he just ducks.
That just reminds me of like Police Academy.
And it was a real training video. Anyway.
And the fact that they're doing it with like the slowest cars ever.
They were in a K car.
Yeah.
Like, not a K car, like a
Not
Japanese
a
K
JDM
car,
K
but
an
the
American
Chrysler K car.
Which is even worse.
84 horsepower.
Dude, that's how much a Japanese K car has. Except they're
And it's
actually
like half the weight.
Actually, no, I think a Japanese K car probably has like 40.
It felt like I was watching an episode of MacGyver. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Or Knight Rider. It was that level of cheesy. So ADHD. Yeah.
I just found it interesting because how you were talking about how when you were super hyperfixated on the boats when it was the pandemic.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was cracking me up because like I was talking about earlier, I had picked up that ROG Ally and I was just messing around with it, and when I was talking to my friends, I had realized that the only game that I actually played on it was when we were messing around in Rocket League yesterday. Yeah. Everything else, I've just been benchmarking and comparing numbers and being like, "Ooh, this is cool. Ooh, this thing
benchmarking
runs."
is my game.
Yeah.
Like it's fun.
like, and I found it interesting that like that itself is the fun part for us. As well as
let's water cool it.
That'd be sick.
Oh jeez.
Dude, imagine making like little scale, like a little mini like reservoir for it on the back.
All I need to get is we have a 3D printer. I need to get like a little mill, a lathe. We need to get like a carver.
Like the tube on that printer that holds the filament. Imagine that as the coolant tubes, like little tiny hard line.
That's all it would need.
That'd be funny.
I mean, I'm sure Linus already did that with the Steam Deck, but still, you know. But
I mean,
Linus has like an actual like machine shop now.
Yeah,
you know?
dude,
and
that
the
sounds
team
so
for it.
fun.
Jetman's saying to LN2 cool it. That get a little cold to hold.
Yeah, dude, imagine returning it to Best Buy, it's all cracked. You're like, I don't know what happened. I was just playing games.
I was playing games and just it cracked.
The
I almost
Best
said imploded, but I didn't want to be insensitive.
Imagine the Best Buy guy just pulls up our video on it. It's just like, well, here.
Is this you? Is this you? No. You're doing the skeevy like eye thing.
They just reply with a link to the video and say warranty denied. That's it.
Just
Like,
walk back in with the hat on.
That is one of the things. Yeah.
That's your disguise.
Hat
No,
on, hat
you
on,
got
no
the
glasses.
sunglasses with the big nose and the mustache
Yeah.
disguise.
With the mustache with my goatee. See, that's stupid. That would look so dumb. Oh my god! I do like though that the Ally is being sold by Best Buy because that's a huge safety net of like considering.
Yeah, don't trust Asus to warranty the crap.
Exactly. Like I mean, this will be in the review eventually, but like
And because I'm like the super elite, like Black Plus Elite member thing that they have,
yeah,
I have like a 6-month return policy.
yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Instead of 14 days, I love how there's like that big of a gap between it. It's like,
Oh, you spend X amount of money per year here? Yeah, you will take anything back. It's like Kohl's return policy.
pretty much, yeah.
Kohl's will take anything back for like any reason.
And Amazon.
True. Amazon half the time will be like, here's your refund, just keep it.
Like it's like one of those like gray area life tips, but like Amazon's great for renting stuff for free when you need something for like a day.
Yeah.
Like a PlayStation controller because you wanted to see if the adaptive triggers would work on a game. And I'm like, cool, all right, I'm over it. I want my $80 back, thank you.
How much was the ROG Ally?
700.
Dang.
But a 512 gigabyte Steam Deck is $650. And you're going from RDNA 2 to 3, you're going from Zen 2 to Zen 4 for $50. I would take that for sure. And faster VRAM or faster RAM.
Yeah, but you have like the native integration of Steam just working flawlessly.
That's going to be a dope part of the video.
Yeah,
that I'm gonna do.
because you've already seen it's not
It is
seamless.
a very. I mean, like I told you when I first came into the office, and you were like, "How is it?" And I was like, SteamOS really does turn PC gaming into a console. It's like a
Yes.
turn it on, sign in, install game, done.
Because it's like big picture, but little picture.
Yeah,
It
little
just
big
works.
picture.
Little big picture.
And then an ROG Ally is here's a Windows install on a gaming PC with a built-in controller. There's a very big difference between those two things.
Yeah.
And like the whole first day was just set up and BIOS updates 3 times, and then like doing software updates and then Armory Crate updates while Windows Update is messing up with those updates because it's also trying to flail around and do its 10,000 updates.
Have you tested? Because you have Steam Deck as well.
Yes.
Have you tested streaming, in-home streaming with Steam Deck versus the Ally?
Yeah,
To see if it's a smoother experience on Steam Deck?
Oh, well, one thing I do like on the Ally is that I can stream at 120 FPS because the screen is 120. But the Steam Deck, both of them do streaming very, very well.
Okay.
They're excellent streaming machines for sure.
I didn't know if maybe there was a little better efficiency there with it being built into SteamOS.
Nah, I mean, at that point, down at like the 5 to 7 watts, it's like a watt is a watt. You know,
Yeah.
a watt is a watt. It's not
As a watt.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a really interesting device. I'm super like just like I said, ADHD hyper fixated on the thing right now.
What did one X-Wing say to the other X-Wing? What?
Well, the other one said what.
That's stupid.
They really do
I
make
just
that
made that
sound.
up.
What.
Or the just gonna go get blah blah. Does it sound like a TIE fighter?
How'd that go? How'd that go again?
I always thought it was weird that the TIE fighter lasers always made that like sound
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
just
the
like
coolant, bro.
yeah, I know. It would, dude. That'd be a fun podcast if somehow like you could get Ben Burt.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, we could just nerd out about audio design for like 10 hours.
The thing is, if you think about the 70s when they were making that movie, they didn't have any references of what sounds in
I
space.
think that's
and
why
et
it was
cetera
so
were.
creative.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, screw it. If we're not trying to make this realistic, do whatever you want, bro.
Yeah.
Make this robot speak words and stuff.
But what I like about the wop which sound is it's very contrast. So when the battles are happening, you can hear like the craziness going on.
I feel like that's
if everything just went what it'd be
that's kind of like a thing that I don't like in a lot of modern games where like there's not a lot of visual and like design contrast between two opposing sides.
Oh, someone in chat said you three should do a fan dub of Star Wars.
You did
Yeah.
one with the TIE Fighter when you had the two the Envy Link bridges.
Didn't we
No,
try
but
it?
no. If we actually took the time to just watch the movie and come up with our own sound effects, so let the dialogue be the dialogue, but all sound
No, we
effects
should
is
do the
replaced
dialogue
with
too,
us.
because then every time it's a stupid line, we're just gonna laugh and then we'll leave it
Didn't
in.
we?
Okay,
Try that
let me
with,
tell
like-
you what we would need to do. We would need to source an online script of the movie, so we don't have to freaking like dictate, transcribe it ourselves.
Dude, I just remember the Backstroke of the West script where it was like that bootleg version in China that had Google double translated English subtitles because they only had the real subtitles in Chinese, but they wanted to sell like the bootlegs like for English subtitles, so they just Google translated the entire script.
That'd be hilarious.
Dude, it was so funny. Like the no scene, it just says "do not want," and like for some reason the translator software kept blaming the Presbyterian Church because I think it thinks Jedi equals Presbyterian Church. It was great. You gotta look it up.
The Presbyterians.
Backstroke of the West is what.
What were you starting to say about when we talked about dubbing?
Didn't we do that with Battlefield?
We did that when we were like you and I were screwing around when my channel was JayzVFX.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't done that with like a feature film. That'd be great. Like we would have to each pick a character. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this voice. Like, I feel like Nick should do Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
I want to do Darth Maul every time he's fighting the Jedi.
Oh no, I'm just thinking.
Voice. He doesn't say anything.
I was just thinking A New Hope. I'm not going back that far.
The prequels are pretty like more memeable though.
Yeah, I guess we could have fun with Jar Jar Binks' voice.
Or maybe we just leave that one as the OG actor just so that we're not the ones.
No, Jar Jar Binks is. I'm in your face.
Misa in your face.
Yo, you gonna die.
You son gonna die.
Yeah. It's just-
Misa in trouble with the bosses.
He was in my face. Now Misa in your face.
What are Misa saying there, gods?
He's a punished.
They so say that's the best part about a street fight. The street always wins.
I imagine the street comes out with a fist.
Yeah, and then punches Jason Statham. Dude.
I mean, I don't know. I guess we need chat to vote right now in ones if you want to see us do like an actual full length.
Oh yeah, dude, I totally should be a Jawa. I will rock the crap out of a Jawa costume.
But you have to superimpose your face on it.
Yeah.
But we have to get
No, I was just gonna-
we have to get a bunch of facial expressions from you so you can animate the face.
You know
Or
what?
like Terrence and Phillip from South Park.
I would just get like a brown blanket and then drape it over me and then film it in front of a green screen so I could just replace the footage and just be like, to everyone, just a little Jawa flipping everyone off.
I don't know. I feel like if enough people were interested, we'd do it. I don't think we'd be able to put it on YouTube as monetized, obviously.
Nick can be the R5 unit with a bad motivator.
So when he's walking over,
I have to say,
hold on. Instead of I can see it now. Instead of the, he just. Oh.
I want pizza.
Just be like unmotivated noises, like as a subtitle.
Oh.
Unmotivated noises. Just, oh man.
We have to make that happen. The problem that's gonna be a time sink, but it'll be fun.
It'll be a time sync that we can't ever post because it's just gonna copy
The
strike.
thing is, we just have to do it right here.
Yeah,
because
you're
the
right.
mics,
Yeah, you're
right?
You're right. Do it live.
No, we can't do it live because we would have to like actually rehearse it.
Jar Jar Binks in Fast and Furious Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Instead
We
of
got no engines, Ted.
You almost had me. You almost had. Ask anyone. Ask any real racer.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
You almost had me.
Everyone's still spamming one because they wanted to do the Phantom Menace first.
No, spamming. I said put one.
I'll put one for
if
just
you
for
wanted
this
to-
idea.
No, and then he got Vin Diesel. Careful, Annie.
Yusa almost had Misa.
So bad.
It's not how you stand by your ship. It's how you fly it.
Oh my goodness.
I live my life 12 parsecs at a time. From here until there, I'm free.
Misa and my Fossa built this.
Dude, Jar Jar is, that is a great idea, guys. Thank you, chat.
Replace Vin Diesel with Jar Jar.
Oh, Yusa never had your pod.
If Yusa can't find the real tool in this garage, Yusa no belongs near a car.
You know how to find the tool in this garage.
Oh yeah, what?
Oh
Jedi tricks do not work on me. Only money.
What is this? I asked for a 10-second card.
Republic of credits. No.
You'd cheated. You knew he's gonna win.
Yeah, instead of Qui-Gon flipping the cube, he's all installing NOS in Anakin's pod racer.
No, he's installing family.
Yeah.
Just looking at the Supra they towed in. What is this? These are your 10-second cards.
I can't believe I forgot about pod racing. Oh my
I
God,
said a
it's so perfect.
10-second car, not a 10 parsec car, because it's the wrong unit of measurement again. Dude, chat, this is exactly what Phil's ADHD topic was, okay?
Yeah.
Literally.
It's perfect.
If you ever wondered what ADHD looks like amongst the three,
I have
a trio.
family.
Misa family.
Family.
Salute Misa.
Jar Vader.
No, he's like, salute Misa familia.
Now there are two of them.
The only spanner in this garage is you. The only tool in this garage.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah, this is ADHD.
The Buster brought me back. He didn't such one to the fort.
You can have any drink in here as long as it's a Corona. Corona.
No, what was a drink they would drink? Like I know they had
Blue
names.
milk.
Oh yeah.
Blue Corona.
You can have any drink you want as long as it's a blue milk.
Dude, the Disneyland blue milk's bomb though.
Because it's just sugar.
Yeah, it's a smoothie. It's not really milk.
It's not even a smoothie. It's just the.
Look, it's a glucosey.
Oh my God.
Is that a Supra?
Wait, who would play Palpatine? Like, what voice would you
my
replace
God.
Palpatine with?
Let's get Mark to do that.
Yeah, and it just do a Palpatine voice.
Oh no,
It's funny.
Brian can do it.
No. Palpatine's surprise. Oh. Because Mark always does the
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Mark Dizzle, for some reason, his like default expression for something is just make an O shape with your mouth and exhale.
Oh.
Like he sees food. Oh. He sees something cool. Oh.
Mark, do you have Force Lightning? Yeah. Don't use it. Oh.
And then you see freaking what's his face, Samuel L. Jackson flying out the window. Mace Windu, I forgot his character's name.
Close enough.
He might as well just be Darth Samuel L. Jackson.
I am the All right, let's move on. My topic was, what sport would you play right now if you could, barring any health issues? I had to put that in there because one of us is over 40, one of us is unmotivated, and one of us has a heart replacement.
Health issue.
Yeah, unmotivated.
Dude, dang, I got two then. I got unmotivation and a heart issue.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
I don't know. You have to get back to me. I'm trying to think. I don't think about sports that often for obvious reasons.
You want to know why I brought this up? What did I text you guys about yesterday? I was flipping through the TV.
Oh yeah, the Ocho.
And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
WATL, what the heck is that? World Axe Throwing League. I was like, what? Oh my God, it's ESPN 8 the Ocho. And I showed you guys, I was like, check it out. It's literally the Ocho.
I was like, wait, they made it? I thought they just made that
it was
up
just a
from the
meme.
movie.
I'm going to play you guys the video I filmed for Nick, just so for Phil and Nick, so that you guys can hear what. First of all, listen to the age of the competitors, okay? That's the craziest part.
Kill South Dakota, maybe our favorite competition of the day, the youth big axe throw. Jocelyn Allen, 14 years old. Emily Diker, 11 years old. These two young ladies are not afraid of the spotlight on ESPN 8 The Ocho.
It actually does say
ESPN 8 The Ocho. I imagine like it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. Like watching it, it literally felt like I was watching Dodgeball.
You were like in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, as one of those characters
Yes,
watching it.
because hearing the dialogue take place between the two, and they were kind of ribbing each other because they're also competitors.
They were doing the
Yeah,
thing.
but they were also competitors. And
That's
remember,
funny.
the Jason Bateman character was like a former champion, right?
yeah,
With all
yeah,
the spiked
yeah,
hair
yeah.
and stuff. He's like, yeah, bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. You know. So it's just I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I got to the point where I'm watching an 11-year-old girl throw, and I'm like, how's she doing that? How's she doing it?
Yeah, then I was like, dude.
I'm all like.
And then I texted Jay, dude, they could be your kids. Imagine that. And he was like, somebody's gonna die. Like somebody would die.
Someone's
now.
gonna die.
No, at first I was like, really? Kids throwing actual bullseye. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm watching this and I'm like, and every now and then they would do like a wide shot. I'm like, there's 11 people in the audience. There's 11 people.
Wow.
And most of the people that were there were just competitors. Because the way it works is there's different age groups and they make a blue team and a red team.
Oh, okay.
So you've got adults, you've got twin, like dual or doubles like you would in tennis. There was knife throwing. Like they were doing knife throwing too. They also do the dual. They also do the dual wield where you have to throw two at the same time.
What?
Yeah, I was like,
I just
okay,
saw
you know
watching
what? I was like, this is a sport I can start in my 40s.
This is propaganda for why Russia should not invade the U.S.
Well, remember the Japanese in World War II? I think it was Yamamoto. I think it was Yamamoto or the Emperor said they could never invade the U.S. because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass. The Russians, we can't invade the U.S. There's an axe behind every blade of grass.
Yeah.
That doesn't scare me. They pointed the guns.
They have
That
drones.
does. They pointed the knives.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was interesting, and the funny thing is, I felt so duped by watching that because one of the adult dudes in the adult league had like long freaking brown hair, was like freaking luscious hair, and the whole time I'm just like, dang, this guy's hair's on point, right? And then during the interview, they were like. The interviewers were like, that head of hair, that's amazing, man. He's like, yeah, do you like it? And he takes off the wig. I'm like, and he's bald. I'm like, I feel so lied to. Because I'd watched like a half hour of this guy play, and then he pulls off his
You're all
hair. I'm like,
respecting his hairline and
what
everything?
is happening right now? I'm watching ESPN 8 The Ocho. I watched an 11-year-old girl throw a 36-inch axe because they were doing the long axe, the big axe. And then I'm watching adult
Kratos
males
axe. Like an
throw the
actual-
little hatchets,
That's funny.
and then he pulls off his hair. I'm like, what? I literally, that's why I texted you guys. I'm like, I have hit elite boomer status.
Dude, I think the moment when I finally decide to go bald because my hairline's receding, I should do that. I should get a really long like Steve hair wig and just wear it to work as if the
Where's
things
my gray hair wig?
It's probably in the office boxes. And stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, we have stuff. Sorry.
probably next to the Steve wig too.
okay. Have you guys played any sports? First of all,
I did soccer.
Is golf
I've
a
done
sport?
taekwondo. Those are like my two big ones.
okay. What are your little ones?
Oh yeah, paintball. We
my
did that.
That's more of an activity, I'd say, than a sport. 'Cause you didn't-
That's what I was saying. Like,
I mean,
is
I
golf a
know
sport?
you did tournaments and
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I'm talking about a sport. Like, there's a season. We have practices Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, like organized.
That was organized. It was a weekend thing. Come on, don't lie, because you were there on the practices too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like when my kids play soccer. When my kid plays soccer, it's like, okay, we know these days is practice. Soccer games are on Saturdays. The rewards trophy ceremony is on this day.
Oh,
you know,
okay. Yeah.
like organized.
Yeah, so soccer and taekwondo were like my only two.
I feel like I want to do something weird like shot put or like javelin throw or something.
Shot
like that.
put? You mean shot put?
Shot put. I don't know.
I'm imagining you trying to punt with a shot put. I'm like, it's all nothing moves.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna count golf as a sport, and that's the only thing I've
Yeah.
genuinely spent enough time to like be decent.
No, I'm
at.
talking about like something new though. Like not something you've already. Oh, okay, yeah, you've played golf, but I mean, yeah. So shot put.
I don't know. If you're gonna suddenly give me a fully able-bodied body to mess around with, then yeah,
But
I'm
you're
gonna-
still your size.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm still gonna do. I'm gonna mess around with like all the weird.
I'm
shit,
sorry. I don't
like,
know why I
shit that
imagine.
can't-
And this is so wrong. The little guy that threw the shot put, and then the BB was like clink in the cup. I don't know why I thought of you right now doing that. but
Exactly. No, the one that
I'm
I
going
saw-
to hell.
the
Don't
one
worry,
that I
guys.
saw
I'm
was,
already
like,
going to pay for this with
The one that I
eternity.
saw was like an olive into a martini. It was like a little, and a little splash.
Aloha, what did I miss? IKEA, I already talked about the whole aloha hello is the same as ahi tuna, and you deserve ahi tuna in your life.
I eat tuna fish.
Ikea's right. I do want to try curling.
Oh,
Really? So you
yeah.
have to brush the
Would you be a brusher or thrower?
I'd be a brusher.
Yeah.
For sure.
You
brusher.
don't move fast enough. You really
I
have
don't
to think
move.
quickly.
I just have to slide.
Yeah, but they furiously.
They just do that.
Okay, yes, I guess you could do that pretty well, knowing you. But anyway, moving on.
Haters gonna hate, dude.
It's not hate, it's jealousy. I'm afraid I might hurt my elbow.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm 42. What do you expect? I have to think about everything now. Look, I think I plan how I sit down on the toilet these days. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere else.
I don't want to throw out a hip sitting down too hard on the toilet.
I also thought that was going somewhere else. I don't want to throw out a hit, having some alone time.
So sports I've played is like organized bowling. Yes, I'm white. Organized bowling.
I didn't say it.
But no, that was a traveling league. We traveled to several states to.
No, but what sport would you play? Because you said
I know, but I asked you guys what you played. So
yeah.
those that are interested, I played bowling, baseball, basketball, football. Honestly, I would love to play hockey. You guys know I'm a huge hockey fan.
Somebody in chat said they broke their arm last time they went bowling.
That could happen.
That's more extreme than Nick.
Yeah, it can happen because you can twist, you can get a spiral fracture, you can lock up the elbow if it gets stuck. A lot of things that can happen.
I broke my arm snowboarding. That was about it.
Most common,
that sounds
Normal?
normal, yeah.
with the exception of like tennis elbow and bowling, like the most common injury is dislocated fingers.
Yeah, that makes
For
sense.
those that don't have a properly fit ball and stuff, but anyway, no, I would love to. I would love to be endowed with the ability to ice skate and play hockey for like a men's league.
Ooh, yeah.
I would. I love hockey. I know a lot about hockey. I just can't play it.
How many employees do we need to get like a weekly bowling night? Like an intercompany bowling night?
That's gonna get so expensive.
No, I'd be like, I mean, 3 or 4 is all you need to start.
Plus 5 beers per person.
Well, you pay for your own beer is what it is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be expensive.
The lanes are actually pretty expensive these days. Like,
Are they really?
yeah.
I haven't been since like pre-lockdown. So.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
no,
think
what
I've
sucks is, like-
bought a bowling time at a bowling alley. Since,
No, we've
I was,
got
in
okay.
high school.
To be fair, the only bowling I've done in recent years is at Splitsville, which is like cosmic bowling, right? But it's drinking and it's got a bar and a full kitchen and all that, and it's designed to bring in families and all that, which I think has a premium versus going like I'm gonna go down to the Brunswick lanes. You know what I mean? But back in the day, you would pay for how many games, right?
Yeah.
Now you pay by time. So whether the game is done or not,
so
hey,
you gotta run through- okay.
that's it. You know, so.
Somebody said, "Oh, hi, Ahi Tuna Man." In chat. That's
He
gonna
shall
be his new
forever
nick-
be
Yeah,
the
that's gonna
Ahi
be his
Tuna
new
Man.
nickname, Ahi Tuna
I think
Man.
I'll change his number in my phone, his name in my phone to Ahi Tuna Man. Ahi Tuna Fish Man.
And then the profile picture is a triangle piece of spam.
Triangle spam Ahi Tuna Fish Man.
with pineapple on pizza in the background.
I still keep forgetting. I even brought like spam and rice to work for lunch that one time. I was like, "Oh man, I forgot to cut in triangles." I wanted to take a picture and post it for IKEA.
Yeah, I think ice hockey honestly is what I would want to be able to play. The thing is, I know for a fact, like, if my best friend really wants to buy me like custom tailored ice skates that are perfect for my feet to learn ice skating. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I can imagine all of the injuries I can get on ice skates, and cuts aside, accidentally cutting myself somehow on them. Ankle injuries, knee injuries, elbow injuries, tailbone injuries, head injuries, all these things I can think of that involve going from this position to somehow this position. Okay?
I mean, you found a way to do that with a water slide. So, and that's not even that hard.
But momentum was involved, right? So
Well, did you you broke your thumb? Like,
I broke my thumb in my sleep, yes.
yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
That's
thank
why
you, thank you, Mastrop, for that keyboard. By the way,
I didn't just break my thumb. I broke the shit out of my thumb.
you broke your thumb so broken that you couldn't review the keyboard that you received. So I had to do the typing part of that review. It was great.
Basically, no, I was sleepwalking to the bathroom and I just smacked the crap out of the dresser with it. Like this, like that. So the break was this knuckle right here and getting pushed into my hand, and then it snapped right here, like right there. So that really sucked. Oh no, the paramedics are coming. They're like, Jay's gonna play hockey.
No, what if
Listen.
what if it's backwards paramedics? They're gonna come break your other thumb.
It's backwards paramedics.
imagine trauma team, but designed to give you trauma.
They wound you with the guns, but then they kill you with the defib though. So it's still actually backward.
Oh no.
So if you guys are wondering, there was a Reddit thread a while back where it was just like, what would you guys be doing if your job was like the opposite of what it is? And I thought it was funny because I would just be going around deleting videos.
So I'd make good tech videos.
Yeah. And I would delete them for some reason.
You unedit them?
Yeah, I have to delete them one clip at a time. But yeah, we were laughing at like firefighters being backwards because then like one firefighter commented in the thread like, "Oh, cool! I guess our truck has a flamethrower on top now." Just imagining it driving around. But anyway, yeah. So that's backwards paramedics. They go around and hurt people.
What an eclectic group of sports.
You're an eclectic.
Curling, shot put, hockey. Yeah. Huh. But I like how technically yours is a team sport. Yours is an individual sport.
Oh,
I just want to throw stuff really hard because then it'd be
then javelin or something. At least you're stabbing
That's what
something.
I said javelin or shot put or something.
Oh, I didn't hear javelin.
I was
if
thinking
it
more
was
javelin.
individual, I would say
It doesn't have to be individual. It's just any sport.
Well, yeah, I would do hockey or not hockey. Sorry, archery or 3-gun. But I don't think those are like
archery. Damn,
I don't think those are like competitive enough.
See, I'm an Eagle Scout. I did a lot of archery, so I'm kind of like
I have never fired a bow and arrow, and I still want to.
reflex bows are pretty neat. It's weird. It's like
Oh, the compound bow. Oh, wait, the doesn't have like.
well,
cams
okay,
and
I say
stuff?
that. Yes,
Compounds
compound
are
because the
wild.
reflex are the single, but
'Cause
compound.
it's like a clutch, right? It feels
Yeah.
like a clutch where it's like click.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then it's got a pulley system.
That's so cool.
But anyway,
Yeah, I've never shot a bow and arrow. Which is actually, now that I think about it, I'm kind of disappointed that I've shot a Desert Eagle before I shot a bow and arrow.
Dang,
What
hey,
the-
so
take
you
it
would
downtown Disney
let me
real
make a
quick.
recommendation. Let me make a recommendation. Okay, first of all, we need to do a video. We
they sell
took Phil to his first archery class. No,
And then we die. And then the thumbnail's just arrows in us, like sticking out of us.
so you would absolutely want to make sure you have the inner forearm guard because if the string smacks that, which
I've
will
heard
happen
about
when
that,
when
yeah.
you're new, it sucks. And you would absolutely want the thumb guard because what also sucks is if sometimes the quill gets like embedded in your thumb as it goes by. There's things that can happen. Trust me.
But nowadays it's like a release trigger, right?
That's cheating.
That's what I
That
think.
does look like cheating. Yeah,
'cause
I've seen
when
those.
when
Yeah,
did,
it's
when
in
I
the
did
other
archery,
hand.
I always let
So
go.
all
of
I
the
had
fingers.
was the wrist pad or the wrist strap with the pad that had a slit, and I could grab the strings that way.
Yeah.
and then slip it off. But no, if you have like click that lets go, that's cheating.
That's what I've seen these days. I've done the manual release myself, not the clicky thing. It looks cool though.
Yeah, I did rifle competition too. Remember my dad was a Navy frogman. He taught me how to shoot. He was a weapons instructor.
They should make the Crisis 3 bow in real life with like the exploding tipped arrows
yeah.
and stuff. That'd be so
Or the
sick.
electrical one.
Oh yeah, remote tasering is a great idea. It'd be a bow and arrow.
Splinter Cell, the little remote tasers.
Yeah.
Just like-
I thought your topic was interesting, and I want to make sure we hit it before the show is over today because it's really relevant.
Let's do it.
all right. So I was thinking like,
Cool.
all right, we're done. That's the end of the show, guys. Thanks for coming.
I'm sorry. You didn't play the theme song.
Oh yeah, moving on to the RTFM. Just kidding.
I guess we don't want to hit the topic anymore.
Sorry, I had two loose ones.
But so if you're in charge of a leading tech company right now with everything going wrong, what is something you would do to change that direction?
I would have given Phil an ally for free. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Just like
Not
just
an
like
actual
overall
statement.
the direction. Like what is probably like pick something to focus on. If you could only do like one thing to start changing the company around instead of like finding out a list.
I don't think these companies have. I mean, there's Gigabyte. Obviously, the RMA process sucks. ASUS right now is just so many things wrong with ASUS. MSI has been questionable for years in terms of again RMA stuff.
Somebody said they should train me with a 100-pound draw on the bow. Did 2/3 of my body weight in a bow?
Can you like shoot yourself? Like
But my thing is like
mean-
what you do in that company is going to depend on what your problems were. But I mean, I think ultimately none of these giant companies have gotten to where they are quickly in terms of being bad if they're
Right.
having company problems, and so they're not going to fix it quickly. But I think ultimately they need to. Most of the problems here is from leadership down, and I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, this company's screwing up, fire the CEO. Like I'm not that kind of person, but sometimes I think that might be what's necessary.
Yeah.
Because AMD is a perfect example. AMD is an example of a company that back during FX and way before Ryzen, they couldn't keep a CEO for very long because the board kept replacing CEOs because the CEOs were just terrible.
Oh, is that why the vibe of like when Lisa Su came in, she was like the one that like righted the ship basically?
She came in as interim and then literally did such an amazing job they gave her the job.
Oh, she pulled the Steve Jobs, literally the Steve Jobs exactly copy of like the story. That's
but the
crazy.
thing was, she came in and created and revamped the culture within the company, starting at the top.
Yeah, because a lot of problems always start at the top, even though they try to fix it from the bottom.
Because I feel like what's honestly happening is the leadership of these big companies that are just screwing over the industry are so disconnected from the day-to-day operations of the company, and they're so blind and deaf to what the consumers are actually saying, because all they're looking at is the stockholders and the stock values, right? And stockholders and stock values are a good indicator of current, like where are we right now? But it takes time for the effects of what they're doing that's bad for the industry to show with stock value. So what I mean by that is they might look at what's going on right now and be like, oh, well, the gamers are crying, right? And let's face it, I think a lot of CEOs feel that way about gamers, you know.
Sure.
Oh, they're crying. That's what they do.
especially ever since like gaming stopped being like the top money maker for these card manufacturers.
Yeah. So
it's not anymore.
So gamers are crying, but you know what? We're crying. We're wiping our tears with our, you know, our billions of dollars. But it's going to take time. Like in 5 years, they might realize like, oh, gamers made up a bigger portion of our overall share than they thought, and they would start to see a decline. But the thing is, they have to, in my opinion, stop putting all of their compass in what they're doing right or wrong as the stock value. And now look, this is going to trigger some people in chat. I know that, but I am a very forward-thinking person, and I can take bits and pieces of different types of ideologies and plug them in where they fit. That's an example of capitalism being bad. Okay, capitalism can be great. Capitalism can be terrible, and that's an example of the terriblest of capitalism.
It's very rare that us, like our needs and wants match or align with a shareholder's needs and wants for the company.
Because the shareholders' needs and wants is only one want: more money.
Yep.
Right? So it's one of those things where, like, let's use AMD as an example. AMD came in, like Lisa Su came in with a whole new ideology, a whole new, like, here's what we're going to do, here's what we need to do. We need to get back the gamer, right? They need to get back the gamer. They recognize that. That was their core audience. That was their core value, was the gamer. They redesigned the architecture. They brought back original engineers from back when, like, the Phenom was doing extremely well. And then, like, the 1090T, remember that CPU? The Phenom 2? That was like an amazing CPU. But then everything went to shit after that. So they brought back original designers. They gave them like, hey, what do you want to do? Let's just write it on a board. It might be impossible, but let's try.
Yeah.
Okay. When Ryzen and all that first came out, Intel, who was on the top and has clearly been one of the companies that is absolutely driven for money, and that's it, has been like, oh, okay, yeah, good. You know, we'll see. You got like 12% of the market share. We'll see how it goes. How long did it take for Ryzen and the company culture and the ideology behind we are powered by gamers for gamers at AMD to create a product that actually started to have impact with Intel? It was like 3 years before there started to be a real, like, oh, look, you can see where the line started to change, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it was around like what, 2000 to 3000 series CPUs?
Around about 2000 series, definitely you started to see it.
Yeah.
3000 series, you definitely saw the market share change, and then you saw Intel's panic.
Yeah.
That was around the time Intel was laying off tens of thousands of people. Because what might not have seemed like a huge market share difference was enough to lay off 10,000 plus people.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: AMD then took that market share gain, and then took the support of the gamers and the money they were making off that, and then what did they do? Then they scaled out to enterprise. Intel does enterprise first, gaming second, because that's where their market share is.
Same with NVIDIA.
And same with NVIDIA.
They always do
AMD,
big AI
AMD
first.
rebuilt itself by listening, providing, and then creating, and then scaling up into the bigger industry where the bulk of their money is.
Yeah.
The problem is, unfortunately, the technologies that we have today are expensive to produce. So a lot of people are mad now that you can buy a $900 AMD CPU, but you can still buy a $200 amazing gaming CPU from AMD. the thing is, we have so many SKUs on the market now. I think people get jaded by seeing an expensive CPU, thinking like, oh, that's the one that I want, but I can't. But you don't need it.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway,
Although that's the job of marketing people is to make you feel like you need it.
yeah. But I think for what you're saying, as a company, you have to truly listen to the consumer. But companies are so ingrained to only listen to the investor.
I was gonna say that's the hardest part, I think, to me about it, is that like to truly fix the problem, you have to fix the mindshare issue in the consumers. But that's kind of like the exact opposite of usually what a shareholder wants. You know what I mean?
I need to respond to a comment here real quick that said capitalism isn't the problem, it's just pure human greed. But human greed leads to capitalism being used in a bad way. What you're saying is wrong. Because they absolutely go hand in hand. But it's one of those things like you can take what I just said right now out of context and be like, Jay hates capitalism. But that's the thing. It's like there are so many parts of different types of ideologies that you can plug into in a society and they all work. Like the folks that are just like, you know, socialism is bad. I'm not a socialist, but socialism is bad. Well, guess what? Your entire public education system is on socialism. That's why it's free. So you can have huge chunks of different ideologies and have them work. But they can also be abused, just like capitalism.
I feel like that's a big problem with just the world in general.
You can't be an all or none.
Yeah, but like the whole world wants to act that way and fight over stuff and argue with people that way, as if it's like black and white. And it's like, no,
Right.
Life is never like binary.
But that's where, and I know we've like ventured into danger territory right now, but that's also where there's a cutoff. If we're talking about like socialism and education being free, like K through 12. That's where the argument is like it should. A lot of people are saying it should also continue on through college if it's going to be free.
Yeah.
The problem is now, just like the healthcare system, we have an entire college system based on profit. It is a for-profit.
I was going to say
institution.
because the next question is always, okay, cool. How are we going to pay for this? and that,
with what money?
That question is usually the one that's the opposite of the what you want.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, going back to Nick's like company thing, that's exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? What do we want? Oh, we want gamers to be happy with our stuff. Okay, cool. How are we going to pay for that? It's like, you know what I mean? Because it's like you could sell a 7900 XTX at $200, but then, you know, how screwed would you screw yourself like money wise if you did that? Obviously, you would be in the good graces of every gamer ever instantly, but
well, every gamer would love an RTX 4080 for $200.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like they could do it.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing.
That.
But here's the thing. Can I be devil's advocate for a second here? If the 4080 at $200 became the norm after 5 or 6 years, and it became $250, the outrage would be back.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just a step.
No, we were talking about that earlier when I was telling you guys about how like I was slightly annoyed that like games are $70 now, and then I had remembered I had seen this old like EB Games ad back during the Sega Genesis era, and freaking Sonic and Knuckles was like $89.99.
Yeah.
In the 90s. And I
Yeah.
was like, so that's like a $120 game today.
That's why I told you I didn't have many games for my consoles because
Yeah.
the games were too expensive.
Dude, when I first saw that stuff, I straight up texted my mom and I was like, I love you and thank you for buying me Genesis games and Super Nintendo games because holy crap, I had no idea they were that expensive back then. Oh my God. Like, I feel lucky for a $60 game nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially in $23 because
They're all going up to $70 now.
I know, but thanks Sony. They started it with their stupid, like I think it was Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was like the first $70 game.
I thought it was Modern Warfare 2 that did it.
Oh, you're right. That would make sense.
But if we talk about listening to the customer, though, it's a cycle. It's an interesting cycle because it takes time for the customer. I don't want to say the boycott, but it's just right now what we're seeing and what we saw with 30 series.
Actually, wait, let me cut you off because I want to address this question. He says, yes, but charging $2,000 for the 4090 has no justification. It does. The justification is people
are buying it.
I'm sorry, but that is
unfortunately
and
this
the
again
reality
unpopular
of it.
opinion number 6,000 from Jay. Just because you can't afford a 40, just because you can't afford a 4090 does not make it unjustified.
Yeah.
It makes it unjustifiable for you to buy it. Look, I can't afford a $500,000 supercar or something. But it's like I'm not going to be mad at those that can. And I'm not going to be mad at the brand for making it. I can also look at that and say, well, there's a lot of people that have a job building that car. Getting that car where it needs to go. There's a lot of jobs along the way that are created. Do I feel like that car is necessary in society? Absolutely not. But it had for that tier and that echelon, yeah, absolutely, people can do that. But what I was starting to say was, a lot of people have decided already voting with their wallet, whether it's screw NVIDIA, because I'm going back to like the 30 series crash, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Screw NVIDIA is one mentality. It's inflation. I have rent and gas to pay for, so I cannot justifiably buy even a $200 GPU right now, because even if it was $200 prior to inflation, they might have been able to afford it, but $200 is out of reach now because of the changes in just the day-to-day cost of living. Very justifiable. But whatever the reason is, it takes time for those sales to slow and for a company to feel it.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is at the time the slowdown is starting, the investors are happy. They're all popping champagne and drinking to their profits, you know, and everyone's happy. But then what do you get 2 years later, 3 years later? You get these earnings reports from NVIDIA that are like, wow, we were actually down $2 billion or whatever, $1 billion, whatever it is, right? And then they start to panic a little bit because listening to the investor for your long-term decision-making, if it leads to a situation like we have right now where the consumer base for a multitude of reasons have decided we don't need your product, you absolutely can fail. I think what happens is some of these companies get so big they think it's impossible for them to fail. And that too big to fail is like that the Titanic is impossible to sink. And that's not true. You know, any
also relevant.
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to have some freaking compassion here,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like we live in a very interesting time where everyone's mad about everything. Everyone's mad about costs, and it's 100% justifiable because although the cost of living has gone up 11% or whatever it is, wages have not. You know, and so when I ask myself, like, dang, views are down, it's not even like, wow, Jay's views are down. It's the entire tech industry's views are down when it comes to PC because the interest is gone. So if you're the kind of person that's like, I feel like a lot of our regular viewers right now that we're getting consistently are just those that are like, I love this shit no matter what. I'm going to nerd out on it. I want to watch it. I love it all. Like, I'm just hyper fixated on it. But those we get a lot of passersby. They're like, I want to build a computer. I want to learn some stuff. If they're not interested, they're not going to go watch something that's only going to remind them that they wanted something that they can't afford anymore. That's just depressing.
What I imagine is like that community meme with the room on fire, and then like, hey guys, what's going on? And then everything's all on fire. Like that's what potential PC gamers are seeing when they go start to look stuff up in this industry, and then they just see the giant dumpster fire of like everyone being mad at stuff, and then it's like
it's the same reason why you see some of these major companies going out of business on the heels of them making the most profits they've ever made in their entire business career. And I think the reason for that is the last 3 years, well, let's say 2, because 2023 has definitely been the starting of the undoing of what the pandemic created. For 2 years, companies were making more money than they ever made. And I think they scaled up their spending for whatever stupid reason to match that income because bad money management. And then when things normalized back to realistic numbers, they no longer could afford to operate at the rate that they were. And there was like a 30-year company, I can't remember the exact company, but it was like 30-year long company basically went from most profits I'd ever seen to closed doors in 18 months. And again, that's a leadership problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like a ship, right? Like the bigger the company, the slower it takes to do anything, to react, to move, to change culture, you know, from the top down and stuff. Like, now that you think about it, I mean, if you kind of look at Ryzen first gen being Lisa Su's really the point at which she started to turn the ship around. Yeah, it's taken 5 generations of CPUs to make the 180 to do that U-turn. Because it's a big ship. AMD's a huge ship.
Now, you have a business degree. Did any of this stuff come up in school?
No, I was more on the management side, like taught people to people. Like I wasn't like, okay, my degree was more just managing versus being in charge. So I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird, but I was more focused on the interactions between the people versus
kind of like human
running.
resources.
Yeah, human.
Okay. So like, where do I put this person?
See, that's
who's really good at
that's
that
what's
stuff?
interesting about that, because human resources is its own degree.
Huh.
There is an HR degree.
Yeah,
for business management.
It was a weird degree.
I don't know. I never got a degree.
Yeah, but basically, I was more focused on interpersonal, like how we are between as employees to each other, and how we are to customers. So I was focused more on like, hey, we got to take care of our employees.
So it's like business PR.
I guess.
Well, it's like building a computer, except the computer's the business and then the people are the parts. Nick is you in that, like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, I know how to pick the best people for this sort of stuff.
But I think what's happened right now too is we have more small business, more startups, more Kickstarter. First of all, I hate Kickstarter. Like the whole concept of Kickstarter.
I love it because it's an endless source of entertainment. There's
I hate Kickstarter.
there's a YouTube channel called Curious
If
TV that does like,
if any brand ever reaches out to me, they're like, "Hey, we have a startup or a Kickstarter." I'm like, nope, goodbye. Not dealing with it.
There's
Because
one I was only interested in, but I'm waiting for them to finally go in production because they met their funding.
my
for
problem is Kickstarters to me is like people who pre-order a video game. They haven't earned your money yet.
Yeah.
You're buying a promise, and the promise may or may not even happen. But the thing is, businesses that are successful, and here's Boomer J now, 6001 unpopular opinion of the day. Businesses that are successful are built upon risk and sacrifice upfront. Okay, because you have so much to invest to make it successful, and if you don't, you may lose everything depending on what you bet the farm on. Right? When you have people going, when you go, hey, I got this neat idea, but I want you all to pay for it. You have a lot less incentive to be successful when you have the money first and the product second.
It takes out the risk.
And yes, you need capital to start up a business, but if you go about traditional ways of trying to make that happen, either tapping into your 401ks or saving, scripting and saving, hopefully not taking out business loans, because you want to talk about loan sharking. Business loans are insane interest rates, and that's just big banks now taking advantage of people. Kickstarters to me are what you're seeing now is a lot of these companies that have started up and gotten big through Kickstarters and created millions of jobs because of, a lot of these 20, 25 employee companies existing everywhere now because of the power of social media. They're failing left and right now because they don't have necessarily maybe the experience. Maybe they have great ideas, but they're not good business people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now you're just seeing those topple over left and right.
it's one, I think modern Kickstarter is funny because there's so many like crypto NFT scams and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, we're going to build the best metaverse game out of like the 30,000 other metaverse games that are on there. And then they all fail. But
It's like the Shark Tank
that's
effect.
Yeah, I think that's why it's my favorite YouTube. Like my favorite YouTube genre these days is just like watching people just rip through all these like scams and just rip them apart and show how dumb like everything is. How much not a game there is. You know what I mean? Like how much they didn't. Deliver.
People are bringing up startup or venture capitalists and angel investors. There's a major difference here between you convincing one whale to give you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And one person taking any sort of risk versus splitting it amongst thousands of people. So it's not the same because you have to convince one person that your idea will work. Okay, it's not the same. It's just not, because the thing is, the people that are giving you money. See that investor, that angel investor or the venture capitalist. Most of the time, a lot of the time, they don't expect money back, right? That's what makes them angel investors or venture capitalists. They have so much money, they typically are just like, you know what? You have a cool idea. Here's cash, clean and clear. Good luck.
They're literally just tipping you because they thought your idea was.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
not
that's
investors
basically it.
going, hey, I want 10% back. I want 20% ownership. I want blah, 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 blah.
It's not like Shark Tank.
Right. And for all
like a
time
grant
in
versus
perpetuity,
loan.
right? I want for perpetuity, like 20% for the rest of your life, right? No, they're just like, hey, cool idea. Good luck. Off you go. But the thing is, when you do a Kickstarter, you're selling a product. You are selling like, hey, this microfiber is the best microfiber you'll ever own in your entire life. It'll never get dirty. It won't scratch. It'll clean your windows. No streaks. $5.99. Cool. Sign me up. $5.99. You're not getting a $5.99 investment. You're getting a purchase for $5.99. And usually that promise is like, okay, buy it now, or it's going to be $10.99 when it goes on sale.
Actually, and then oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was gonna say that incentive also
Yeah.
kind of screws you because now you're like acquiring less money upfront as well because you have to do that sort of like selling it to them.
Yeah,
before they
you
even
need
own
an
it.
incentive to want it early and be willing to wait for it. The problem is if you read every single fine print of every single Kickstarter type, there's GoFundMe, there's Kickstarter. At least GoFundMe, the name is literally like the whole premise, give me money, is literally all that's saying. But all of them say in there, it may not ever happen. It may not ever happen.
I think the only positive Kickstarter story that I can think of that I've interacted with at least is probably Elite Dangerous, because that started as a Kickstarter game. In fact, it actually started.
And I'm not saying they don't work.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we have millions of people out there. Like, the thing is now GoFundMe has turned into like, oh, I don't have money, give me money.
Yeah. it's American healthcare system.
But at least Kickstarter designed around products like that, like the Mjolnir, the Thor, whatever. All that stuff was Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You know? But
no, I just thought Elite Dangerous was funny because it was Kickstartering around the same time Star Citizen was. And then obviously Star Citizen moved to their own internal Kickstarter style pledging because they wanted to continue making money by not selling a game that's out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was the contrast between those two games, because like Elite Dangerous did the most like a normal traditional like, here's Kickstarter, cool, we got funded, here's 1.0 release, we're gonna keep patching it until we deem the game as end of life because it's a service or whatever.
There's another rant of mine. Popular opinion number 6002.
3.
We should
Yours
just,
is 2.
three.
we should start saying 7,000 at this
I
point.
need, I need Jetman to start a counter like we do on my stream elements on my Twitch stream. Whenever
an actual
yeah, it's literally
counter?
like bing. Jay has had 6,241 bad opinions. Anyway, I'm really irritated with the whole early access thing with games. Because the problem is, if you have an early access game that's lasted 10 years or whatever it is, it's not early access anymore. But I feel like all
It's just access.
no, I feel like no. Do you know what? You guys correct me in chat if you feel like I'm wrong. I feel like early access just absolves the developer from any responsibility regarding bugs and glitches.
Corridor had a funny video where they were like acting like The Matrix was a real early access video game, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, and they got to fix that one bug where if you die here, you die in real life." And he was like, "What do you mean, dude? It's early access. Chill."
Yeah,
like,
because it's like
that's like literally what you're talking about.
No,
where
'cause
you can
seriously,
dude, it's early access.
all
Calm
early
down.
access does is say, "Hey, there's going to be problems," and then you have less urgency to fix those problems. I mean, unless they're like
Yeah.
showstoppers where the game doesn't launch kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got IKEA finding ways to glitch doors in Phasmophobia and pop me out of the map or pop me into danger and get me killed, they're funny glitches that you can go, oh, early access, but it's just like, oh, yeah, the game is completely broken and we stopped working on it. Oh, early access,
It's kind of weird with Star Citizen because it's like, yeah, like I'm not really that invested in hating the game because my actual investment was only $45 like 10 years ago, right? And so
But that's a full access price.
yeah, ish, but at the same time it's kind of like it's like if the player is like, well, whatever, it's early access and I only paid $40, I paid less than a real game for it, I'm not really going to get mad and bitch on the forums about this like tiny little bug. If that becomes the sentiment, then it's almost like, well, if the devs don't want to finish the game and the players don't even really care if the game's finished or not, then it's just going to be infinitely in development.
thing is-
It's going to be infinite early access, which is exactly
Yeah,
what Star
if-
Citizen
Or
is
dead
doing.
game.
I
Yeah.
feel like if you looked at any of our Steam libraries, we'll have quite a bit of early access games in there. But the thing is, like, I can name, and most of them continue to get updates and work and are very active. Like Phasmophobia is a perfect example of an early access game where the guy
Did it right.
Dude,
Yeah.
CJ has made millions on this game, and he has reinvested all of it in his company and grown the company. And is just literally, I have never had a game that has had as many game-changing updates
I was
as
gonna
Phasmo.
say, like, I loved seeing that. Even though I don't play, like, just seeing like you watching like the updates and stuff. Like, it's such a dope sign.
Every patch notes are huge.
Yeah.
It's
But-
a sign that like he's doing it correctly because he's actually taking that money and coming back and
And he's
putting it
hired.
in- yeah,
He's hired. Made a bigger team.
Exactly. Yeah,
And he's hiring again.
Those new 3D assets and stuff, right?
Yes.
Like it was like it's so dope of him to realize that I can hire somebody that's better than me at
Yes.
this.
Yes.
because it's a
He
specific
built the
thing.
game through free assets.
Yeah,
And then is now
and the game looks good.
and
now.
his
It
whole
looks dope.
mission is removing all of the free assets and have them all be bespoke for the game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, there are several. You guys know I really like the horror genre. There's quite a few games in my list that I paid $7.99, $5.99, whatever for, that haven't been updated in 2 years. No updates, no patch notes, no nothing, and the game has not changed at all. And it's a small game, and I'm like, here's an example of what turned out. And I look and I'll see like 30,000 reviews on there, and it'll tell you how many have sold. I'm like, that times $4.99 minus Steam's. Oh, he made hundreds of thousands of dollars and just pieced out. It's just this is my old man yells at cloud TED talk, but
I don't know. It is just getting
Thanks for
me.
coming to my J Talk.
It's getting my brain.
Hey.
My brain. Jed talk.
no, he said J talk.
Oh, J talk. You could say. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, like, what is it? Crap. No, I forgot. No, I was gonna.
I'm just getting disappointed with most things in like the world right now.
Oh, okay. Because you were talking about how like pace of updates and stuff is like a good sign, but it's like that's the funny thing about Star Citizen is that they are still keeping on pace with updates and stuff. It's just funny because they also chronically overestimate their ETAs. Like,
Oh, is it always late? Like super late?
Yeah, it's always just like, oh, Alpha 3.18.2 is coming out next week, and then it'll come out.
Let me give you an example.
Like
of
next week is like next month.
How
like,
good
in Star
Phasmo's
Citizen.
how good Phasmo's doing it. Like I was looking the other day on Wednesday, I couldn't decide what to play. We ended up playing Outlast Trials as a group, hilarious, and we're gonna play it as our group too, not just my normal Twitch group, but us and Mark. I think it's gonna be hilarious because we all are freaking idiots in this group.
Are there corners to hide in them out?
Oh yeah, and there's hiding spaces that sometimes when you open them have bad guys in them.
Oh, I don't want to play that.
Yes, you do. You're fine. Yes, you do.
we gonna-
It's a game you can play. It is.
okay.
It's not like it's not intended to be a jump scary kind of game, although it can have it. But
Are we going outside?
but damn it, you made me lose my train of thought.
ADHD.
Old people.
Oh gosh, I feel like that.
Oh yeah, what I started to say was like when I was trying to decide what to play, I was looking at Phasma. I'm like, oh, is there a new update out yet? Because they're revamping all the UV light stuff, and I'm like, dang, it's not out yet. But they only talked about it in May, so I'm spoiled by it's a month and it's not out. Like because they're so on top of it. But CJ also is adamant that like I won't release a buggy product, at least one that's got really bad bugs.
Dude,
So-
I'm
At
so-
least he's
okay.
like focused on quality though. Like that's like something
Yeah.
I totally look up to as for someone like in the industry just building something.
yeah.
This is the extent to which Star Citizen has ruined my it's coming in blah 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 like hope. They said answer the call, play the single player campaign in 2016.
There's still no single player.
Hey, so they
Dude, there's
weren't.
barely a multiplayer.
Dude,
What are you
so
talking
they
about?
weren't the first people to throw out a single player. I'm like, looking at you, Blizzard.
And then, honestly, like I'm just side ranting now, but like the funniest thing is seeing in the subreddit, people are just like, yeah, but once they get the single player done, then that's cool because they can transfer all those assets to the multiplayer. It's like if it was that easy, it'd be done. It would have
Yeah.
been done in 2016, dude. Like they're
they have-
using the most duct tape, janky, crisis rewritten engine ever, and it's so bad for what they're trying to do with it. Obviously, look, we saw BattleBit Remastered pulling 250 player servers.
Yo, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing that.
You know what Star Citizen is struggling with? 20. Like the actual server limit is 50, and they're trying to make the servers mesh with each other so that you could have a seamless server hop. You know, so that way it looks like there's more players in one that it can handle. But the protocol's max is 50, and it's like that is not enough for an MMO in space. You know what I mean? But I don't know why they didn't do it like Elite, where you just start an instance whenever somebody jumps into a system, and then anybody else that's already there.
They're different engines. They really wanted the Crisis engine, right?
Yeah. They were like, oh, this is going to look so visually awesome, blah, blah. And it did in 2013.
Do you want to hear?
Crisis is old now, though.
Do you want to hear how ADHD I am?
What were you thinking?
I was
now?
1 year listening, but I was also just reading texts from my wife that were coming while I was here, and she was like, "Do you want to go on a date with me tonight?" I was like, "But it's Thursday." Oh wait, it's Friday. Sweet, it's the weekend.
It's Thursday.
But it's
And my brain literally went, "But wait,
I don't
we
know.
don't do this on Thursday." Oh yeah, it's Friday.
I don't know why I was thinking like you were going to reply with like, no, I got a date with this other girl.
And then I punch a screen. There are so many memes this week, huh? This has
know.
been a seriously meme week. Oh man. Okay, you know what? The show technically should have ended 2 minutes ago. I'm just gonna look for one or two of the RTFAs.
FTFAs?
FTFA.
Read the freaking audience.
Yeah, read the audience.
Read the
Jay.
audience.
Okay.
Companies.
Hold up.
Jeez.
Read the audience.
That's what the companies need to do.
Okay, lightning
Read the
round.
freaking
RTFA.
audience.
Yeah.
Lightning round. Hey, Jay, what do you think? Who would win in a fight? You, Linus, or Steve? And also, who's taller, Phil or Linus? Linus is taller.
Linus is taller than you by like 3 inches, and I would beat Linus to death with Steve. No, I would beat Steve to death with Linus.
I got 3 inches on him somewhere else. Though.
No, I know for a fact. People, but Linus is a black belt. Look,
Yeah,
you don't know the first thing about what fighting training I
Dude,
know.
the moment
and
Jay
have, but
picks up Linus, like you can't really do much.
no, it would be like when we were watching the
Eddie
what's
Hall and
it-
the-
the Mountain and Conor
Conor
Oh, yeah,
McGregor.
Conor McGregor, yeah.
Linus would just try and be as slippery as possible, but as soon as I get a grip, that's it. It's gonna be like when Hulk got a hold of Loki and then I turn and just start hitting Steve with Linus.
I don't know why I just imagined it like an anime scene, and like you throw Linus at Steve, and he has to go through like 50 layers of charts before he gets to Steve, and then hits him, and then they all explode. You just see
Jay, you can't attack Steve. Why? He's protected by charts. How many? Over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Oh, it's impossible.
He's just in like a Fortnite fort, but instead of the wood, it's all charts. It's all just benchmark charts.
Be a pretty good anime fight scene, not gonna lie.
Compound charts.
This is honestly why I want to eventually teach myself 3D modeling and animation, because I have so many stupid ass ideas that I want to make real, but it's like I would have to film this and do it practically. It's like I want to just do it in 3D, especially how janky it can look. It'll be even funnier.
We'll save some of these other FTFAs for next week, but here we go. Phil, what HOTAS do you use? Pros and cons?
What was it? Cytec X52? Or Logitech?
I don't know. I had it for like a day, and then you took it from me and swapped it.
Yeah, we traded. I traded Jay with my HOTAS Warthog for
which,
his.
if you want that back, I haven't been using it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I also haven't been really using the X52, so. But yeah, I use the Logitech X52, but I do want to replace it probably with a VKB because the dead zone on the stick is getting really bad.
Oh, that's the problem with Logitech stuff. It wears out. It just wears
It's
out.
weird, right? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Logitech controllers wear out. You should think about that.
no.
Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Hey, I want to make a note that my G27 still
Yeah, but you're not using thumb switches and hall sensors.
the pedals.
Or driving a submarine with it.
At least I didn't hook up a G28 or G27 to drive it. Okay.
True.
Dude,
All right.
I can't believe they use the wireless version. Imagine Bluetooth brakes in a car. Like, that's basically... Okay, never mind. Anyway.
So Peanut, I call him Peanut because he didn't leave his name, and Peanut was in his email. So what are you guys' opinions on looking up guides to video games? I think Jay says he really avoids it. I have low patience, so if I'm stuck in a game, it doesn't take me long to look it up.
I am also on you. I have no shame in playing a game on story mode and looking up and turning on all the puzzle hints and stuff because... I mean, if I want to just experience the story and I don't feel like, struggling on fighting and stuff, yeah, I'll do it.
I most of my games are blind playthroughs, but the ones I know of, like referring to guides, has definitely been Witcher 3.
Oh, okay.
Just because I don't want to play through the game multiple times just for different endings. Like, I want this ending, so how do I get to it?
I did that with Cyberpunk 2077.
On like a few missions or something?
Only the endings. As I got to the decision-making process, I looked up what was what.
Right, once the decisions start making more, mattering more, then you're like, let me look in the future real quick to see what decision's the best one.
Yeah.
I think my only regret...
I've done that on Mass Effect a couple times too.
with Cyberpunk is I wish I set Skippy to the non-violent mode so it gets stuck in violent mode.
Oh, yeah.
Because it flips the other way.
Yeah. Well, I tend to not look up guides unless I'm really stuck. And I mean by really stuck, I mean I've spent a couple hours maybe not knowing what to do next.
Oh wow, I can't do that. I would not make it.
I feel dirty. I feel like, if I looked up and I cheat, then I didn't beat the game. Like that's how I feel about it.
That's such like a Gen X gamer like vibe. I feel like just back then, it's like, you know what? I paid this quarter. I'm gonna play the game myself.
If there is not a guide on cheatcc.com, I'm not gonna play it.
That's such a millennial thing too. Dude, we grew up on GameFAQs and CheatCC.
Well, here's a guide for all of you. Go and have a great weekend. Since I just remembered it's the weekend. Oh wait, we can't say the weekend anymore. We'll get sued.
Spread that tight little.
No.
Wait, why can't we say it anymore?
Because the weekend has coined it. Like he is like. Anyway, whatever. Moving on, guys. If you want to write us your short emails, maybe get a whole part of our show, email us at rtfm@JayzTwoCents.com. Don't forget the show is every Friday at 2 p.m. Don't think it's Thursday like Jay tends to do apparently lately. And don't forget to give this podcast a like. If you guys are enjoying it, the likes really help the algorithm. They really help us. And I feel like the live streams people never hit like. So hit it if you enjoy it. And if you got a loved one in your life, hit that too. Because, it's the weekend. So, all right, guys. Thanks. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.